Alright, so you're getting into this business and you are looking to get smartphones, and you see all of these YouTube channels, or you hear of all of the people that are on the forums that have tons of phones, and you're wondering, how do I make it to that point? How do I get my hands on tons of these phones? How much am I going to have to spend on these phones, and where do I obtain them? I've done a couple of videos that talk about where you can successfully pick up phones at cheaper prices, but the one thing I have not done is shown you guys how much you would spend overall to have multiple different cell phones. So in this video, we're going to shoot it over to the screen of my computer. I'm going to do some math for you guys so you can see what it's like, what you have to expect to have all of these different cell phones, the cost to get to that point, and then basically how much you will have to spend your time and effort to be able to make that money back, and then where you can profit off of having that many devices. So we'll shoot it over to the screen of my computer and I'll show you guys a lot of useful information. We're going to go back over where you can get all of these cheap cell phones, and we're going to try and find you guys the best deals possible to get as many phones as we possibly can. I'm going to cap the phone amount at 100 devices. So this is for the person that basically has a lot of money to invest, and at the same time is for the person that's looking to pick up a few different phones, because we're going to show you exactly where you can get those phones cheaply. We will go over eBay, we are going to go over Amazon, we're going to go over Straight Talk, and the last ditch effort that I have here, which I don't really recommend, we will look at textnow.com, and I will also look, we will go through a Google search and see what we can find shopping at Google. And then on the very final note, we will talk about how you can obtain phones from the Facebook Marketplace and sometimes find some halfway decent phones from there. But we are going to cap our dollar amount for each of the phones at anywhere between $10 to $15, and we may do a portion of $15 phones, we may do a portion of $20 phones, and preferably I'd like to keep it around $10 for each smartphone, so we can get up to that 100 device amount, so you can have a giant farm just like the one that you're seeing in the background right here, and so you guys can make some money. So let's get started.
Alright guys, I've been putting a lot of thought into doing this video and what all I wanted to go over in this video. I just feel like it's really important to show you guys exactly how profitable cell phone farming really can be. You know, if you have some money to really invest in this, you know, just how much you could make on a monthly basis makes it almost a no-brainer to go ahead and pick up these phones and, you know, give this a shot. You know, make this a part of your life to where you can have some extra money, you know, finally have that extra money that you really wanted to have in your life. You know, this video definitely, it requires you to invest your money to be able to do something like this. I'm going to show you that, you know, you really can invest some money and make a lot of money, but you will have to invest a lot of money. So right here I have a small list, and we're going to go very in depth with this list, and I'm going to break it down for you exactly how profitable this could be. I mean, it's very profitable for me right now. I currently have right around this amount of devices. You know, I'm very close to this as far as cell phones go. So right here you can see 100 phones, where to get them, how much to spend. Going really in depth here, if you were to say pick up these phones and only spend $10 to $15 a phone, this number would go down drastically. So versus the $1,500 that I'm going to be talking about right here, you could be spending $1,000. Maybe you could even get luckier and spend a little less than that. You know, though I recommend that you try to find some really halfway decent phones. They don't have to be the best phones in the world, and you definitely want to do your research for you know, which of these phones can be rooted, which ones you're going to have a lot of issues rooting, and which ones are really simple to just use King root, you know, and just root your phones immediately the second that you get them with King root. So with all of those factors coming into play, we will start with this list right here, and then I will break it down for you how much I think you could make specifically off of 100 phones. I don't even have 100 smartphones. I have right at 73 devices. 2 devices I use, well, I should say 74 devices. I use 2 devices for testing. I have my personal phone, and I have I believe one phone that's out of commission, so I believe it has a bloated battery. But going into depth here, you see 50 phones at $10. $10 a piece gets you, 50 phones at $10 would be $500. 50 phones at $20 would be $1,000. So now let's just assume for a second, let's go over here to the web. Let's just assume that you're able to find all of those phones for right around $10, and you spend roughly $1,000. Now, on a monthly basis, with my setup alone at 70 some odd devices, I'm currently averaging right now on my good months, I average $1,000. Now, I do use a few different websites here and there, but I'm going to assume that if you have some money to shell out on some smartphones, then you have a computer at hand, you have a laptop, or you have a desktop. There's probably countless different things that you're doing on your desktop looking for ways to make money online. I wanted to show you a few different websites. We're going to talk about Amazon, we're going to talk about eBay, and we are going to talk about TextNow, which is probably the least out of all of these options. TextNow is the least option that I would recommend that you guys would even put your thoughts or mind into using that website. But every once in a while you can find a halfway decent deal, although you're going to have to pay them for the contract that's involved with it, but you can still find a halfway decent phone. Let me come here really quick. We'll just go ahead and get TextNow out the way. Mainly because I don't, like I said, I really don't recommend this site, but if you're running out of options as far as finding phones, then this is an option, because they try to, I've noticed that there's fairly standard phones that are here. Now, finding a phone at $10 and then having to pay their whatever their fee is, they just have deals here and there, but this is the one thing I will point out with TextNow. If you go to buy this phone, they are going to make you select a monthly plan to be able to purchase the phone. So that that $13 amount right there goes up to $27 amounts, a $27 amount. So that's something to really to take into note, and chances are you can find this Alcatel Dawn over here on eBay for much cheaper. So if I was going to point a person in the direction of finding phones here, and I've done a couple of videos that talked about this, I have not really broken it down though as far as like the money that you could spend and then money that you could make off of these applications. I have a video that talks about how much money I'm making with the apps that I'm using, and it would give you an idea for how much you could make by having a phone farm like this. So before we get further in depth right there, let's come here, and I want to say this. That $1,000 to $1,500 investment, let's assume that you are getting to where you're making the same amount that I am on a monthly basis. Now, you can see that this would literally pay for itself. Guys, I would guarantee that if you set everything up, if you set it all up with the applications that I use, and you might even have a different routine, and I kind of encourage that you test out different things and try to see what works for you in your area. But you can see that this will pay for itself within 3 months max. So that's assuming that you can find your phones at $10 a piece. So let's talk really quickly about some of the complications of just that. Now, when you're purchasing online, there's only so many ways that you can purchase in bulk. So eBay is a way that you can purchase in bulk. You could purchase multiple different items. They'll all come to you at some point. Now, finding an area that's got, you see it's got all these, here's 4 new and refurbished from 1975. So, but finding 20 different phones, there are some here and there, like you'll see them, but finding 20 different phones that you could just buy all at once in bulk, that could prove to be a little bit difficult. So, but still, you can still come through here and type in the phone that you're looking for and gauge your prices. Now, I will say this with eBay, you do have a tendency to every once in a while get an item and it turns out that it is either broken, or the battery was already bloated, or it's having an issue with Android itself. So those are the things to be wary of with eBay. Now, Straight Talk over here, I see a lot of really decent deals on this website. I actually want to come over here and I want to gauge this price down. Let's go to less than 50. I think a lot of people are currently using Straight Talk to pick up phones. Now, I believe there is a limitation for how many phones you can purchase from them. And I would be honest, I wouldn't even really want to press them to, buy multiple different phones back to back to back. I would use this website alongside of a website like Amazon or eBay. Now, Amazon, let's talk about that. Amazon has a tendency to have their phone prices are jacked up. You know, a phone like this, in my opinion, should be right around like $8 to $10. You know, I don't care if it's new or not. The Alcatel One Touches are honestly, they're pretty terrible phones, and they're not really 100% great for earning unless you really know the applications to use with the Alcatel One Touch. So I found that Rewardable is a great app for the Alcatel One Touch. I did a video about this a little while back. I like to mention some of the stuff in my previous videos for the people that have not seen those videos, just so they have an idea and that the stuff stays fresh in their mind and they know what they're getting themselves into. But guys, this video is basically just to inform you guys that if you had this amount of phones, you are going to make your money back so quickly. I cannot think of any business, minus getting into Bitcoin and making money with Bitcoin, that you make money back that fast. So, and I was thinking about that before I did this video. Like literally right before I did it, I was like, Bitcoin, you make money back almost within so many months, especially if you're purchasing cloud mining contracts. It takes so many months and then your money comes back to you. If you purchase the setup to be able to mine Bitcoin, right now I think the Antminer L3 and the Antminer S9, if you were to invest in either one of those, I believe the S9, your money would come back to you quicker. But if you go to Bitmain, where you pick up your Antminer, and then you go over to NiceHash, which is a profitability calculator, and it will show you exactly how quickly you can have a return of investment for both of those. So, and I believe it's right around, for the Antminers, they're $1,500. So if you did the math on making, I believe with the S9, it's around $600 a month. Your return of investment would be within the first few months there. So whenever I have talked about cell phone farming and Bitcoin, making money that way with Bitcoin being so similar to each other, it really is in so many different ways. Like I said, I have not found many businesses where you can make your money back so quickly. But guys, before I get really off topic here with anything else, I will leave this video at what it is. I want you to see that this business can make you some money very quickly. You can have free PayPal cash and free Amazon gift cards left and right, and it's really not that much of an investment. I know that's like maybe some of you viewers are a little younger and you don't have the money to invest in something like this, but in today's economy, $1,000 or $1,500 is not a lot of money. You can't even find a dependable car for that amount. You're not going to find a dependable car for $1,500. And if you do, then you must have bought it from either a mechanic or a little old lady or something like that. So, but yeah, with that being said, guys, I hope you find some use out of this video. I really wanted to point out these websites. These are your main websites that you would go to. You may find some deals on Best Buy. That's maybe the last one to mention. You can find some pretty cheap phones on Best Buy. More than likely, you will have to either walk to the store, go into the store and pick up your phone that way. But that's really about it, though, guys. So if you get some use out of this video, definitely like and subscribe. I've got a bunch of videos that are coming along the way now that my time is freed up. So I can't wait to get back with you guys for even more content.